I'm no longer religious, but we all know that part of the scripture that says the devil comes to unalive, steal, and destroy. You see, Black people and people of color globally have started to take a second look into history and the actions of them palm-colored folks. And what we are starting to see now is that there is only one race of people who have done the three aforementioned things that we can find in the scriptures that is supposed to be the work of the devil to unalive, steal, and destroy. And it's the palm-colored folks. Globally, they have unalived, stolen from, and destroyed cultures, standard of living, etc., of various cultures and races of people. And even in 2023, we still see them unaliving, stealing from, and destroying people. Now, for the most part, the majority of us are aware of the depopulation agenda that these people have, right? And how their main target is the continent of Africa. And they have been on this agenda for a very long time, from like way back during colonization and slavery even. They eradicated millions of us. Only in Congo, 15 million people were unalived there during colonization and slavery in the Congo. The Herero people are there, and what they did to them, they carried out various genocides left, right, center here on the continent during colonization and slavery. We have even seen videos of them coming out and confessing, talking about, yes, they really do want to get rid of us. This video I did a couple of weeks ago is a good example. This man was talking about how they injected Africans with HIV. If you want to check this video out, it's linked down below in the description. But now on to today's video, which is still on the depopulation agenda and how these people are obsessed with getting rid of Africans. Check out these videos and I'll meet you guys at the end.
Which to this day, it remains the official policy of the American government. It has not changed. It may not be implemented by Trump, but it remains the same. That the purpose of the foreign policy in Africa was to reduce the population. So to give aid to countries in Africa, not clean water and schooling and things like that, but contraception and in order to shrink the population of Africa, because they have great mineral resources there.
That sounds diabolical.
It is, yes.
That sounds like something conceived in the mind of Margaret Sanger.
Yeah, definitely. And so at the time, Kissinger and those involved with the Carter administration wanted to shrink the population, make sure that the Africans do not develop and do not use the resources for themselves, because we in the States, we need them. There is a concerted effort of foreign powers to control the population of Africa. Africa is a huge continent, could feed thousands of more people, but the policies of the West, especially in Europe. For example, between 1990 and the year 2000, the United States, Canada, and Europe contributed about $6 billion in contraceptives, not to help the people, not to give clean water, clean food. That is
not to fight malaria, for example.
No, of course, perish the thought, never. Yeah. Let them die. That's the whole idea.
We discovered that the vaccine they were using was actually a fertility regulating vaccine. The WHO had spent almost 20 years investigating from 1972 to 1992. This is funded by WHO, developed, and then disappears off the market. And the first time it appears is in 1993 in South America. They could clandestinely sterilize women without telling them that the injection they're giving them is not the normal tetanus, but rather a fertility regulating tetanus that they had produced. Very evil. And an organization of this stature behaving like this would tell you that it would be a madman who would believe them if they came back the next time. Now, the kind of pictures we see, or what we see in clinical practice, if women have been given these vaccines, is an increase in idiopathic infertility, where you have a normal man and a normal woman, you investigate them for infertility. They're totally normal, but they won't conceive a child. And those are usually the ones with very high levels of the anti-HCG antibodies. The other thing we notice is irregular periods for women who are trying to conceive. We also notice that there is an increase in failed pregnancies, or what we call blighted ovum. Women who conceive, and when you do your first ultrasound, maybe 7-8 weeks, you find an empty sac. The baby never formed because something was attacking the placenta as it tried to form. And then a lot of threatened pregnancies, with early bleeding, bleeding in early pregnancies, and then some strange outcomes of pregnancies like premature labor, premature rupture of membranes, babies dying in the womb, and premature separation of the placenta. So those are the kind of things that you see in clinical practice.
At this point, it is safe to say that as long as these people exist, we are not safe. As a matter of fact, nobody is safe, or, talking about Black people right now. We are not safe. Not even Mother Nature is safe. We see what they are doing to her. And that's why Mother Nature is reacting the way she is, increasing the heat, right? Mother Nature is like, before you will kill me, I will kill you. Mother Nature is like, I was here before you came. You cannot send me away before you. Mother Nature is like, oh, this is a tree you want to back on. You want to pick a fight with me. Okay, come at me then. Let's see who wins. Mother Nature is like, you met me here, not the other way around. You would leave, but I will still be here. Not be you they run this town, and me. I'm the one running the show. Mother Nature is like, you are here because I let you be here, but you are messing around, so you are definitely going to be finding out. But like I said, nobody is safe. And this racism issue that we have now in our modern time, which is the cause of all of this issue that we are having, right? It's never dying out. It's never dying out because the racists are passing their racism on to the next generation, and that's why we have it going on. It's a vicious circle that seems like it's never going to have an end. So as long as we have them, we're always going to have those ones that have the racist mindset because they picked it up from their fathers and their mothers or grandparents. And we're always going to be their main target. Yes, they attack other people as well, but Black people, African people are their primary target, their primary concern. They want us out of here with the speed of light for various reasons. One, our resources here on the continent, they want to have full access to it. Two, we are biologically more superior than these people. Let's call a spade a spade. Even them and their scientists, they say it, right? Hell, they're even talking about it in their news. Check out this video and I'll meet you guys after.
Richard King reveals that the core of the human brain is the locus coeruleus, which is a structure that is black because it contains large amounts of neuromelanin, which is essential for its operation. 2, Black infants sit, crawl, and walk sooner than whites. 3, Carol Barnes notes that human mental processes are controlled by melanin, that same chemical which gives blacks their superior physical and mental abilities. 4, some scientists have revealed that most whites are unable to produce melanin because their pineal glands are often calcified or non-functioning. Pineal calcification rates with Africans are 5 to 15%, Asians 15 to 25%, and Europeans 60 to 80%. This is the chemical basis for the cultural differences between blacks and whites. And 5, melanin endows blacks with greater mental, physical, and spiritual abilities, something which cannot be measured based on Eurocentric standards. End quote. Let that sink in. Melanin endows black people with greater mental, physical, and spiritual abilities.
So you see the video, right? This is from their news. They are telling their people this. So they know, they're very much aware of how different we are. That we have stuff that they don't. And you definitely know they hate the facts. So not only do we have these resources here on the continent, we biologically have stuff that they don't even have. So of course they see us as a threat. When you look at how these people have been acting for centuries now, they've been acting diabolically like this. You just know they are never going to change. So I'm not even expecting them to. So since they are not going to change, what we need to do is make sure that we follow them accordingly. Eat with them with a very long spoon if we must eat with them in the first place, right? I would rather we don't eat with them. But since we're in this so-called global village, so for political, economical reasons, we have to eat with them. My say is we should make sure we are eating with them with a very, very, very long spoon. When it's avoidable, don't eat with them. But if you must eat with them, use a very long spoon. And if only our so-called leaders had this same mindset as well, it will save us a lot of trouble. This fictional kumbaya world that the majority of our people think we live in does not exist. The sooner we come to that realization unanimously, the better for us all and our continued survival on this plane. So of course they want to get rid of us because they have compared us biologically and they see that we do not compare. They have seen that biologically they cannot compete with us. They have seen that where we are in the genetic pool, they never born them. So they see us as a threat. They see our existence as a threat to theirs. I saw a video some time back. It's just unfortunate I don't have that video saved and I cannot find that video. I would have loved to incorporate it into this video. In this video, they were talking about, it was in the news, right, in one of their channels. They were talking about how shocked they were that we here on the continent are not getting unalived by the Rona like they were getting unalived by the Rona. So you definitely know that for a group of people that see themselves as superior, they are very pissed at the fact that there is some other group of people out there, which is the Black people, that are biologically superior to them. And this is something they admit themselves. You see what the guy said on the news, right? The clip we played earlier. You know, I saw a comment underneath their video, and this person was saying that if they are talking about this in public, that Black people should be worried. If they are letting themselves know that, see, these Black people are more superior than you biologically, there is an agenda there that they're trying to send, a message they're trying to send to their people, because why is that even on the news? And if you guys paid close attention to that video very well, you would notice that even though in the reports, they mentioned other races as well, but they specifically were comparing themselves with Black people. Yes, they mentioned other races, but they did not compare themselves with those races. They specifically were comparing with us, Black people. So you just know that these facts bother them so much that they don't even compare with other people. They're comparing with only us. It doesn't matter what the numbers say for other races of people. For them, it's what does the numbers say for Black people and what is ours saying. That's all that matters. So biologically, they see us as a threat. Number two is that they also want to have access to our resources, right? So for these people, getting rid of Black people is a win at multiple ends. You get rid of the biological threats to our existence. And two, you get rid of the people that is going to stop us from taking the resources in Africa because we want to have full ownership of the resources there. And these people are on that land. They are going to stop us from taking it because it's theirs. So let's eradicate the owners so we can claim ownership. And that's what this whole depopulation agenda is all about. It's all about how can we get rid of these Africans. They are standing in our way. Just their existence is a threat to our superiority. Plus, they are living on a continent that we wish was ours.
So, in our work in HLI, we denounced this reality to make the Africans aware that they have to defend themselves against the influence of foreign powers.
Is it just the United States, or do you believe that China is also playing a role in jockeying for the resources of Africa?
China is playing a major role because China is buying property in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
For example, in Mozambique, which is a Portuguese-speaking language country, they when Portugal was in charge of Mozambique, they used to export rice. Now they are importing rice from China because they cannot produce. The socialism has wrecked the production of rice. And the Chinese come and buy farms. So about almost a third of Mozambique belongs to China. So I was in other countries of Africa, the same reality. In South Africa, the Chinese are buying property, buying land in Africa. So, and they send their own workers, the Chinese workers. They don't employ people over the place. They send their own workers to populate and to live in the